Welcome to our studio, Mr. Soghomonian. You are coming from Fresno, California, and you're Armenian-American. And as we all know, if Armenian-American comes here to Armenia, there must be something important, some kind of mission or trying to help Armenia. Why are you here?
1999, I'm the founder of Bike for Hope for Armenia. Our goal is to raise the money in United States, to do the cycling in Armenia, to show how much we are appreciating their donation. And we ask them, please make your donation worthwhile to our sweat. We usually do 450 to 500 kilometers in a week time when we come here. And that's our asking a reason that please make our sweat worthwhile. So the last 15 years, 8 years, we helped Armenia's agriculture when David Lokian was the minister. He left the ministry. We decided to move. In 3 years, we helped All Armenia Fund. Well, they never showed us any accounting, where's the money going. We decided to move along, and we started helping the university, the physics department, that's doing very important research on highest mountain of Armenia, Mount Arakat, on cosmic ray division of, they studied the rays of the sun, and Armenia today is number 5 in the world, so we decided it's worthwhile to help them. Till this year we were sponsored by an American-Armenian organization called Focus on Children Now. They help the children, especially those, they're helping the Gyumri Vorpanots, and that was the aim. But when they learned Kesaptsi Armenian, and the rebels displaced all the Armenians from Kesab, I believe the head of Focus on Children felt, maybe since I'm the man who's raising the money, I'm doing all the work, we should give the money to displaced Kesab Armenians, and that's what we're doing.
So you were born in Kesab?
I was born in Kesab.
Wow.
I was educated, high school education in Beirut, and my university education is in Berkeley, California, at the University of California, Berkeley.
This is now a special place for every Armenian around the world, Kesab, save Kesab. For almost how many months? For half a year we were talking about Kesab, saving Kesab. And since you are involved in this, can you update us what's going on there? Is there anything new? Well, are they able to go back, or they're still stuck in Latakia?
Kesab was liberated by the Syrian army on June 15, and the population was open to return, and they did return to Kesab. Sadly to say, the rebels had destroyed, they had stolen every piece of whatever they can and taken it to Turkey. Unfortunately, Turkey had open borders for them, and they sold those important whatever they were able to carry there with their, they sold it for peanuts, for a very small amount of money, but they left Kesab very, very, what shall I say, in shambles. The sad thing is, many of the well-known cemeteries, they had opened to see if they could find gold in the poor dead person's teeth. Now, that's barbaric, but that's what they had done.
So now you're able to go there or somehow to send money there, but to my opinion, I think, to my knowledge, there are certain limits of banking transfer or other, how you get money there.
Okay.
So that's...
The money is getting there from Armenian National Committee, and in U.S., The money is going first to KESAP Educational Association. It's an association was organized many years ago to help KESAPs. And they turn it into Armenian National Committee. And Armenian National Committee is working with the head of the church, Catholicos, and that's how the money is getting to individuals in KESAP.
Mr. Soghomonian, I just wonder, there are so many, I think, organizations involved in collecting money, donations, especially designed for KESAP. Do we know how much money is there already? Are we talking about substantial amount of money, or it's still just
the only answer I could give to that is what I know KESAP Educational Association was able to raise. The KESAP Educational Association has a building in Reseda, California as their headquarters, like you do.
Right.
They took a second mortgage on that building. Can you believe that? Yeah. And the second mortgage was $40,000. They took that. From individuals, they were able to raise enough money to turn in. KESAP Educational Association, as an organization, was able to raise $120,000 US to help KESAP.
It's not bad, right?
It's very good. And many other organizations also are doing similar. It's going to put those families, especially the poor families who lost everything, to start. Especially many are farmers, and their fruit trees loaded. But for them to take the fruit, transport to a city to sell, they needed at least transportation.
Yeah, sure.
Now with this money, at least they're going to be able to sell their fruit to the city, and they will get some income. They're hardworking people.
Now let's talk about Syria in general, because we know KESAP is one of those places which is very well organized, was very well organized. As I know, I talked to some KESAP people who came here temporarily, to stay here for some months and then go back. They were telling me the stories, amazing stories, how they, for example, elect their mayors. And actually there was local democracy. In fact, when the country, you wouldn't say that, Syria is a democracy, but actually locally, these people were able to organize, Armenian specific democracy.
Well, to answer that question, many individuals who were educated in France, United States, and Great Britain, they decided, especially Dr. Avedis Incejikian, he was one of the first graduates from American University of Beirut. All his colleagues became multimillionaire working other places. He decided to go back to KESAP to help his own people.
Amazing stuff.
And when someone did not have money, like many I know families, would take eggs or a chicken, not only would take care of them, even he would give the medicine free to them. He became like the father of KESAPs. So KESAP for many years had its own, what shall I say, governing body.
Exactly.
The sheriff, the governor, they were all KESAPs, and they did it in a fair way. If you did something, instead of putting you in prison, torturing you, they brought you on a round table like you and me, and they brought the other party, and after interviewing, they said, okay, you owe this man so much money because it looks like that's the issue. Pay him and hug each other and be friends again. Yeah, now that you don't find anywhere else.
No. And now let's talk about the Syrian conflict. We know that Aleppo is suffering enormous losses every day. It's a civil war, and there is no end to it, it seems to me. And I heard so many tragic stories, families torn apart, some of them, the mother and daughter and son are here, the father stayed behind. This is amazing story, and we really suffered enormously in Syria. What should be done to save this community?
it's a major puzzle because the rebels are not Syrian. They come from Chechnya, from Azerbaijan, from Iraq, from everywhere. They don't belong there. They come to rob, to get what they can, and they're the ones who are destroying that country. The saddest of all, they are supported by NATO, by Turkish government, sadly to say, our own government, United States of America, with money and war material, which is sad. But
yeah, that's the fact and reality. But on the other hand, we know that for many, many years, Assad's family was keeping the country really in a brutal oppression state, right? That's also the truth. So it seems to me that he's not an alternative, but there is no alternative. What is the situation now? What is the solution? What?
He will stay there till he dies. His last interview, he said, I'm a Sunni Muslim. I protect the minority and the Christians, and I will stay here till the end to protect them. On the other hand, U.S. is a Christian country helping the rebels to come and kill Christians. He says, now who? And they think, I'm the guilty guy, I'm the one to be judged, I'm the one to be replaced. I ask you, the world, who's the guilty party here?
Mr. Soghomonian, I think Armenians are just here. We have some Syrian Armenians, they're mostly supporting Assad. Maybe that's understandable. For many years, Assad family was sort of like in good relationship with the Armenian community there. But as a conflict as a whole, I think they didn't do anything to save this situation. I'm talking about this son, Assad, now younger Assad. And he's bombing now his own people. So we know that this is happening also. And that's true, that the rebels are not really doing what they were expecting to do. They are just destroying the country. But on the other hand, we see that there is nothing done from the other side.
The sad thing is that's how the media presents it. Assad is bombing. He has no other way to control the outside rebels who are coming in to replace him or destroy the country. So he has no alternative but to bomb. Unfortunately, when he's bombing, he's killing his own people also. But the media concentrates showing that Assad is a butcher killing his own people. That's not the reality, believe me. And let's say Assad goes. Those rebels have so many groups. Who's going to take over? Which group is going to take over? Who's going to lead?
Very much concerned that, these rebels they have completely the other agenda there,
Exactly.
Islamic radical thinking. Maybe they want to create some Islamic state. But, let's talk about our Armenian other concerns. You are from California, and you know that the Armenian-American community is now in a major move somehow to make one important dream happen. That is that the United States recognizes Armenian genocide on April 24 of next year. And we know that it's a major, major, major date. And what do you think? Is there any hope that really this will happen this time? Will Obama say genocide, or will he do something differently that many other presidents were doing before?
Sadly to say, President Obama promised before he was elected he will recognize the Armenian genocide. And there was politics. He got votes from the Armenians, especially from Armenian National Committee,
yes,
to put him in the office. As long as America is brother with Turkey and supportive of Turkey, I'm sorry to say there is no chance, because what would they get from Armenians? We have nothing to offer him. On the other hand, he's getting more benefit by supporting Turkey. He has a base in Turkey against Russia. obviously he's not going to turn his back to that to come and support a small group like us. For what reason? There's no benefit for him. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
So you don't believe that it will happen. And I talked to many other Armenian community business leaders and others, and they also skeptical about these prospects. But I think something must be different, right? It's a 100th, anniversary, and it's not even anniversary. It's a very sad date. It's a historic page that it will turn, but 100 years passed, and then 100 plus 1 day. It still continues, right?
Well, all I could say personally,
still pain.
Well, personally, my own answer to that, with my intelligence, I can't be blindfolded and say, yes, it's going to happen. U.S. is going to recognize the Armenian genocide. I can't believe that will ever happen as long as U.S. and Turkey are like brothers. Unless you want to blindfold yourself and deny the reality. That's the reality. What can we do about that? We've been doing it for many, many years. My recommendation, if I had any voice, we're spending enormous amount of money to the lawyers to maintain high TAD, Armenian value, Armenian case. Instead of pouring that much money, which has no end, their lawyers cannot make U.S. and Turkey and others recognize the Armenian genocide. If I had to say, let's pour that money and build this country, Armenia, help the schools, help education. Education is the source and the bone of a country.
Make it stronger.
Make it stronger. Help employment. Sorry to tell you this, because I'm going to be now not the great guy, the bad guy. Vatche, who's Vatche Soghomonian, who built American-style buildings to sell to those Americans to come and retire here. Recently, I heard he built another church and put his wife's name in there, Saint Anna. Who knows Saint Anna? Instead of spending that money on stone and on cement, create jobs, open an industry, put people to work. They need that more than church. Don't we have enough churches? My God, every corner we have a church.
I don't know if you know about this. There is a Russian-Armenian billionaire, in fact, Ruben Vartanyan.
Yeah,
he started, he built a school in Dilijan, small town,
Smart.
And it's a project, and it's very well-known, scheme, and this is one of the high prestigious schools among these 14. This is a network of schools. And it's very prestigious school, and he built that, and he spent $100 million in 2 years. And I've been there, I've been visiting, and I saw how it is being done. And people are working there, local people, and you could see hundreds of people are working there. What do you think? Why the Armenian diaspora, especially these wealthy business people, don't come here and do the same? I think you should come here, invest here with some projects, not just bring money, leave it here and go.
Excuse what I'm going to say. It's not a good thing I'm going to say.
It's important.
They are very cautious because the word in diaspora is the leaders, the government of Armenia is corrupt. They are robbing the people, and they're robbing the country. They sold everything. And when I'm a multimillionaire, I hear my own country, shall I call it my own government, who's not helping the people, they're only helping their own pocket. I said, why should I? They're there, they got elected. One is the president, the other is a minister and all that. All they're thinking is their own pocket, their own family, and putting their money in France, in Switzerland, in the United States. when they're doing that, yes, I'm a multimillionaire, but I'm an Armenian, I'm living diaspora. Shall I go and give money so that they could put more money in their pocket? That's the cautious approach. That's why they're not doing it. I'll be very blunt about that.
Yeah, but this guy did. He brought his money.
But he was the one who supervised it, though. He just didn't give it.
No, he supervised.
See,
he flies here every week, and he's here all the time. And
I'll give you another example. Mr. Kirkorian.
Kirkorian.
$150 million to build the road from Artsakh to Armenia. But a lot of that money was not invested building that road. We bicycled 2 years ago on that road, has nothing but potholes and all that. And the story goes because instead of using more cement or asphalt, they use more sand to pocket the money. And now, sorry to say, Kirkorian, as much as he was born in Fresno, by the way, and he became one of the richest men. Instead of giving his money to Armenia, at the end, he liquidated his Lindsay Foundation, which was helping many very important causes. He gave all his money to the university. He hasn't even attended the university, but he gave all his own whatever.
Maybe he was disappointed. Maybe
he was disappointed because the money he gave, he didn't see any result. He felt, if they are corrupt, why should I continue supporting corrupt people?
Now, who is Vatche Soghomonian? Now, let's present yourself. Now, you are coming from high-tech industry, right? And you've been pretty successful in that business. So you've done even your company. You founded your company. Just tell us a little bit about your background.
Briefly, I was born in Kesab from very poor family. Well, the best decision I made as a little boy, I'm going to try to raise myself and not stay as my family is poor and is struggling, because I was smart in school, doing very well. My parents noticed that I'm doing very well as a smart young man. They sent me to my grandmother in Beirut to go school in Beirut. My grandmother was working for a French bank's director as a housekeeper and a cook. She wasn't a wealthy lady, but she supported me. I attended first the elementary school called Surt Nishan Askayim Varzaran, Saint Nishan Armenian school. My friends, I was a Boy Scout, they were ahead of me, and there were two of them. One is very successful in California, Harant Khachadurian. He was my scoutmaster. From Surt Nishan, he left. He went to Pokagan School, which is Armenian Evangelical High School, very well known in Beirut. Yeah. If you graduated from Armenian Evangelical School, you could have gone to further your education, France, England, or America, because it was bilingual. And he knew me well, that I'm smart, a good scholar. He will always say, Vatche, why do you stay in Surt Nishan? What are you going to do, be an Armenian teacher? Come to our school in Pokagan. Well, my dad disliked Pokagan. So he would say, if my cat is Pokagan, I'll cut the tail. How can I tell my dad I want to go Pokagan school? But my parents had a lot of confidence in me. They never asked what you're doing, which school you're going. I decided on my own to believe my scoutmaster. On 7th grade, I moved to Pokagan School, Armenian Evangelical High School.
Yes.
Well, again, as a good student, I graduated. I decided I'm going to further my education. I could have gone to Sorbonne in France. I found out I can't afford it. I didn't have the money. The only place I was able to make a decision, Californian University at my time, very low tuition. Most of the students worked their way as a college student, and the weather was perfect for me because I didn't even have an overcoat.
Exactly, yeah.
I applied to 6 universities, sending my grades, my transcripts in California. Thank you, Lord. I was accepted by the Berkeley University, American University of Berkeley, small town. I didn't have money, I didn't have a car. If I would have been admitted at UCLA in Los Angeles, I don't think I could have been successful. When you have no car, no money, in a large place like Los Angeles, you would have been one lost person. Being in a small town, I worked nights, I went school days. Fortunately, I did well. I graduated. I landed a very good position with Digital Equipment Corporation, a computer company, because my major was in computer science. For 15 years, I was their executive, and my supervision was most of California and Nevada. When, unfortunately, Digital Equipment made many wrong decisions, start going downhill because it was competitive to IBM, almost overtaking IBM. But the president made a very, very wrong decision, decided not to get into personal computers, small PCs.
Yes.
So that's not our goal. Our goal is we make our own big computers. We help. At the time, it was called American National Laboratory, which was one of the well-known laboratory. He didn't want to get into personal computers. Well, sorry to say, Compaq did not exist when Digital Equipment was growing 35% a year. And when they start going downhill because they didn't get into personal computers, Compaq had come to the level acquired Digital Equipment.
Wow, that's how they have
down
started,
the line, Hewlett-Packard acquired Compaq, became the largest computer company. Well, my aim was I don't want to lose go downhill like they are. Decided start my own, and that's how I'm the founder of CompuWare company. And
is the CompuWare the well-known company that?
Well, I'm very well known in Western region.
Is
because
it CPWR or on NASDAQ? It's being traded on NASDAQ, or is that the company?
Yes, that's the company.
That's the company. Wow, that's pretty impressive, Mr. Soghomonian. So you knew also William Saroyan, right?
I knew William Saroyan. I admired him because he was a cyclist. Before he became famous, before he was well known as a youngster, he was from a poor family. To make money, door to door on his bicycle, he would deliver newspapers. Can you believe that? Yeah. So as I got to know more of him, we decided now that we're doing fundraising bike-a-thon, and my website is Bike for Hope for Armenia, we decided as a cyclist to use Mr. Saroyan's picture on a bicycle, as a marketing gimmick to motivate people to say, hey, those are cyclists, they're only thinking about doing that.
Have you been meeting him, talking to him? Have you had a chance?
Before he passed away, yes, in Fresno. And if you watch the movie Modorumner, he was well spoken in there. The narrator says, first talks about Mr. Saroyan, talks about Varas, then at the end when he comes to Vatche Soghomonian, he says, Mr. Saroyan and Varas were one of the Khent Armenians. Here comes another Khent Armenian, Vatche Soghomonian, and he's trying to help Armenia. Now, it's a very interesting movie was made here. The narrator was very sharp presenting it. When you see it, you'll know.
So, Mr. Soghomonian, thank you very much for coming to our studio.
Thank you for having the opportunity.
Very, very interesting conversation.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about, not about me, about where I was born, about Armenia, about what our U.S. government is doing. Sorry to say, I had the opportunity to say all this.
Well, you criticized almost everyone, which is fair.
The only reason I criticize them because they're not being fair and honest. Especially,
Well, your
US
criticism about Armenia was fair. This is corruption is well-known fact here. So
everywhere.
yeah.
You don't think? You guys steal small. Americans, when they steal billions.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, corruption is everywhere.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. Thank you.